Hi everybody, Faith Wit 123 here. Just wanting to make another video and to try to maybe tell a little bit about my cancer journey, give some background information on that. Um, I'll try to just kind of give an overview of what happened, how I found my cancer, and that kind of thing. So, leading up to maybe my biopsy or diagnosis. Okay. So, today is March 3rd, 2025. I found the lump at night when I was getting ready for bed on April 17th of 2023. I had unfastened my bra in the back. I was getting my pajamas on, and when I went to take off my bra, my left hand bumped my breast at the top there, and it felt hard. It didn't feel like a lump, really. It felt more like a ridge, and so I knew that was odd. But I had weed eated the yard the weekend before. That was a Monday evening, and I had weed eated the yard on Saturday and Sunday, and I thought maybe I had just pulled something or bumped it, and there was a bruise or whatever. It didn't hurt at all, but I just kind of wrote it off as something that probably happened, when I was working in the yard the weekend before. Didn't really think much about it after that, and even on the next day, when I got to work, I honestly kind of forgot about it. And around lunchtime, I had gone to the restroom after we got back from lunch. I'm a teacher, and so my classroom and my neighbor's classroom had an adjoining door, and she was standing in the door, letting me go to the restroom. So when I got back, I kind of mentioned it to her because I thought about it again, and she said, "I'm not moving from this door till you go call and make an appointment." I was like, "No, it's fine. I'm sure it's just, where I weed eated this." And she's like, "I'm not moving from this door until you go and call and make an appointment to have it looked at." And she probably saved my life because I probably wouldn't have gone to the doctor and had it looked at all. So I made an appointment. I went the following day, not the following day, that afternoon on Tuesday. I went into the doctor's office, and when my nurse practitioner that I see, when she found the lump, I knew something was wrong. That she, just from the look on her face, I felt like something wasn't right. And so she made an appointment for a mammogram. She told me she was going to do a mammogram and an ultrasound just in case they wanted to look. That had never been done before when I scheduled a mammogram. So that made me a little bit, worried as well. So we did that. She scheduled that for about 2 weeks later. A couple of weeks later, I went for the mammogram, and and they couldn't even find the ridge. I had to show them where it was, because it was not that big, but they did the mammogram, and the technician or whatever, she told me to wait for a minute, just let her ask the radiologist, did he want to do the ultrasound or not. So she comes back in a few minutes later, and she says, he does want you to have the ultrasound, so we'll take you down there. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So we go to do the ultrasound, and the girl feels like a billion pictures, and she says, just wait here in case he wants some more images. So I lay there for a few minutes, and then she comes back in, and she says, he doesn't need any more images, but and he said to tell you that your doctor will call you within the next week with the results, what they think. So she said, go ahead and get dressed and you can head home. I said, okay. So I got my clothes on, and I went to the store. I had to pick up some dog food. So I go in the store and I get the dog food, and that was all I went after, so I wasn't walking around shopping. It was pretty quick. So I went and got the dog food. I was in the checkout line and my phone started ringing in my pocket. And I didn't answer it because I don't like to answer my phone when I'm at a checkout or whatever. I feel like that's, it's kind of rude. But so I didn't answer my phone there, but when I got back out to my car, I looked at my phone. It was my doctor calling, and I had just missed the call. So I, rang them back, and when they answered, I was telling the receptionist, that I just missed a call from the office. And while I was speaking with her, my doctor rang in again. And so I answered that call, and it wasn't the nurse telling me anything, it was my doctor. And she said that the radiologist had contacted her immediately and said that the images, the place on the images looked highly suspicious. She said looks highly suspicious for breast cancer. And she said the words highly suspicious at least 3 or 4 times in the 2-minute conversation. So that kind of scared me a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this may not be good. And so she said they'll call you with an appointment with a surgeon to have it looked at and to have a biopsy done. And I said, okay. So before I even could put the car in reverse and leave the parking lot there, the nurse called me back with an appointment with a surgeon. So next step was a couple of weeks later, I went to see the surgeon, and he didn't seem very concerned at all. It felt like a very small place, and so I asked him, I said, well, does it seem like, anything, and he's like, well, we're not going to worry until we know we have something to worry about. I thought that was a good philosophy to keep, and so I did. We didn't worry. Although deep inside, I kind of always felt like it's cancer, it's breast cancer. So we had the biopsy, and between the time that I saw the surgeon and had the biopsy, I had been watching YouTube videos and Googling things. Everybody said, don't Google, don't watch YouTube. I'm really glad I did. Now that's not for everybody. Some people, that kind of stuff drives them crazy. For me, it was wonderful because I learned so much about my cancer. One of the videos that I found on YouTube actually talked about reading breast images. And it talked about the BI-RADS score. It also talked about, if they have spikes on them, if they're uneven, how they're more likely to be cancerous. If it's tall and like a skyscraper shape rather than a football shape, they talk about how that's, skyscraper shape is more likely to be cancer. Just different things like that. And they showed examples of these. I think it must have been like an instructor teaching radiologists or whatever how to read breast images. But the one thing that stood out to me was the BI-RADS score. And the BI-RADS score is the score they give for a breast image. And I thought probably with what, had gone on, that I was probably a 3 or 4. Where they thought, there was like a 50% chance or a 80 to 90% chance. I don't know what the actual percentages are. I would have to look those up again. But I figured I would be like a BI-RADS 3 or a BI-RADS 4, I pulled up my medical records. I can do that, online. And I looked at the radiologist's thing from my mammogram and my ultrasound, and it turned out I was a BI-RADS 5. That's the highest you can go without them knowing that it's cancer, because now I'm a BI-RADS 6. But when I saw that 5, it was like I instantly knew that's it. They're sure I have cancer. They just can't tell me I have cancer until they do the biopsy. So they did the biopsy, and on May the 24th, I got the results, and I did have breast cancer. We didn't think it was very big at all, and it really wasn't. Once they did the MRI, it did look a little bigger than they had initially thought. And then once I had surgery, it was even bigger than that. And I think that's probably pretty common for it to be larger than what, they originally thought. So with that knowledge in place, we decided to put a plan in place. I would have surgery first, and then radiation, then chemo, then radiation, surgery, then radiation, because we assumed that that was probably all that I was going to need. There's a small tumor. We felt like we caught it early, and you know, surgery, radiation, and we'd be done. And I elected to have a lumpectomy because if I didn't need to lose my breasts, I didn't want to. I wanted the least invasive procedure that I could have. I didn't feel afraid that if I kept my breasts that I would get it again. I don't feel that way. Some people do and opt to have a mastectomy, and that's everybody's choice. I personally did not feel like I was at a bigger risk. They didn't see or feel anything else. I felt like I was okay. And my doctors said, and anything that I read, any research I read, said that your chances of recurrence are no greater with a lumpectomy versus a mastectomy. So I opted for the lumpectomy, and I'm happy with my choice. So we decided to do the surgery and then radiation. In between that time, I met with my oncologist and my radiology oncologist. They're wonderful. All my doctors have been wonderful here. I'm so pleased with my surgeon as well, which is a blessing, a very big blessing. I hear, horror stories from people on some of the Facebook groups that I belong to that they, don't have a good relationship or confidence in their medical team, and I hate that for people because it's huge. It's a huge thing to trust the people who are guiding me in my health. So that's where I think I'm going to stop today. Is where we have made the decision to do surgery and then radiation. And I'll try to make another video pretty soon to talk some more about the actual surgery and treatment afterward. All right. I hope this is informative for somebody. The only reason I'm doing it is to help. And if my information is not correct in any way, I'm sorry. This is the best that I know. And these are the things that I did and that worked for me. So, if it's not, it may not be for everybody, these decisions or these thoughts. I just wanted to put a video out there. When I started watching YouTube videos back when I first found my lump, I didn't find many people on here that were my age. A lot of people who are younger and have breast cancer do YouTube videos or start a channel or whatever. And I think it's because maybe younger people are more familiar with these formats and social media and that kind of thing. But I just felt like I wanted to put it out there, to put the information out there. And, if you want to put something in the comments, that's great. I'll chat with you or whatever. Because I assure you, it's nice to have somebody to chat with, someone who's been through it and who understands. All right. Thank you so much for watching if you do. And till next time. Bye.